Hi everybody, today is July 24th and I just wanted to answer a few questions from probably like the last 4 to 5 videos. The first one is from Fitange. I hope I'm saying that right. She wanted to know if broccoli counted. She eats lots of broccoli and if it counted. I never used to count broccoli calorie-wise or carb-wise. But if you eat a lot of it, even though it is a vegetable, sometimes vegetables or a salad, if you're eating too much, it could affect you from, or keep you from not changing. I had a girl last year, I think it was, that would eat big salads or like large portions of vegetables, and even though it's something healthy for you and you wouldn't think that it would make a big difference, I mean, she would eat a big bowl. We cut that back and like made her vegetables portion, so she had specific portion sizes for her vegetables, smaller, a lot smaller. It made a big difference. So it just depends on if it's affecting the way that you want to look and you're not getting the results that you want, then you might want to cut back on them a little bit. But I never really counted them. And let's see. Drive Passion Faith wanted to know how I cooked my salmon. In that video, my husband actually cooked the salmon, and he did it on the grill. I usually cook it, when I cook it for myself, I usually cook it in the skillet. I spray pan on the bottom of the skillet and cook it in the skillet that way. Sometimes I add a little bit of water and cover it so it just kind of cooks a little bit faster. Then I take the cover off. A lot of times it makes the water evaporate, and just kind of cook it and flip it. I wanted to say thank you for the scale tip from David. And David, you asked about macros, if I counted my macros. No, especially not right now. I'm just kind of eating around the portion sizes that I know that are usually good for me. When I used to compete back in the day in bodybuilding, we never really kept track of calories. It was always grams of protein and grams of carbs. And as you got closer to a show, you would manipulate your carbs. As you got closer and came closer and closer to the show, you would start to cut back on your carbs a little bit. I've only gone 0 carbs, I think, one time, well, maybe a couple times, but one time for about 10 to 14 days in a row. And you have to be careful when you do that many days in a row, because it can make your body's metabolism, it can have the reverse effect on you. It can flatten you out too much and kind of start to slow you down a little bit. So I usually about, it depends on the way that you look, but as to how far out you start playing with your carbs. But basically it was always keeping track of protein and keeping track of carbs, and then watching the way that your body looked and how what you were taking in affected the way that you were looking. And if you needed to change, you would manipulate those two things, protein and carbs. Usually for carb cycling, I would start maybe 4 to 5 weeks out or 6 weeks out, depending on how I was looking. One of the first things I would do would be 2 days low carbs and 1 day high. 2 days low, 1 day high. 2 days low, 1 day high. That's a good way to ease into it, then you might do 3 days low and 1 day high, 3 days low and 1 day high. Sometimes you can do 2 days low, 1 day high, 3 days low, 1 day high. It just depends on how fast your body reacts to it, how far out you are, and how you look compared to how far out you are. The high day would basically be similar to like a day in the very beginning when I started. So I usually would start 20 weeks out or so, and would have a carb and protein with every meal, except for maybe the last meal. That would be just a protein and a vegetable. And back then, actually, believe it or not, I hated vegetables. The only vegetables I liked were corn and carrots. Never ate corn getting ready. I did use carrots. I kind of did green beans, and they're okay. I have done raw broccoli. I hated every minute of it, but I did it. Now I actually love broccoli. And I love vegetables. I love spinach and broccoli. Green beans are still okay. I can do them. I like peas. But anyway, I'm getting off track. So your high day would basically be like just a good healthy diet where you're having carbs with every meal except for your last meal. So you might have carbs if you're eating 5 or 6 times a day. You would have carbs 4 or 5 times in that one day. So that would be your high day. That high day keeps you from flattening out too much, because if you're doing 0 carbs too many days in a row right before the show, if you get too flat, you're not going to have enough time. You usually start to carb up before a show on Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes even just Friday. It just depends on how you're looking and what you're doing, what division you're doing now. Back then, we would usually start on a Wednesday evening, some carbs, and then Thursday and Friday carbs. If you're too flat, a lot of times that's not enough time to fill the muscles back out, so you would still have like a flatter appearance when you got on stage, and you wouldn't look as hard. So the 2 or 3 days low and then 1 day high, the 1 day high keeps your metabolism going for one thing, and then it also keeps you from getting too flat. It fills the muscles back out a little bit. But the low days are the days that help you to like tighten up and like lose that extra body fat. So it works good to cycle your carbs. Which kind of leads me into V. Buckley 1780 had a question about 110-pound female and wants to put on about 20 to 30 pounds of lean muscle. What would a diet look like for that and training? Diet would be similar to what I was saying. You want to probably eat at least 5 times a day, and I would suggest a protein and carb with every meal, except for maybe your last meal. That's kind of up to you, but you need the carbs in there so you can lift heavy, and have strength to do your workouts and to push hard. So you need those carbs in there. So an example might be like 6 egg whites in the morning with a half a cup of oatmeal. And then if you want some type of berries or something like that in your oatmeal, you could probably do that. And then say for the next 3 meals would be something like, if you're 110 pounds, probably start off with 4 ounces of some type of protein, maybe even 5 ounces. It just depends. Start off with 4 and see how your body reacts, and you might have to increase that to 5 ounces, or some meals you might do 4 and then you might do 5 and then 4. Whatever it is, stick to it. Stick to what you choose, and then see how your body responds. If you're not getting the response that you want, then you need to change something. You either need to increase some carbs or increase some protein. The carbs are what makes the muscle full. It gives you strength for your workout. The protein helps to build the muscle. And of course you want your vegetables in there too. So 4 to 5 ounces of chicken, or turkey, or if you went red meat, maybe 4 ounces of red meat. And then, and these are for the next 3 meals after your breakfast, so that would make 4 meals of protein and a carb and vegetables. Your carbs would maybe be like a half a cup of rice, or maybe a 6-ounce potato, or a 5-ounce yam, 4 to 5 ounce yam. And then your last meal would be some type of protein. You could probably take in a little bit more protein, like 5 or 6 ounces of protein, and then a vegetable, because you're not taking in the carbs, so you can have just a little bit of protein, a little bit more protein, since you're not taking in the carb. And you want that protein before you go to bed too, so you feed your body before you go to bed and sleep for the time that you sleep. And that's all the ones that I wrote down for right now. But I looked over, I glanced at those, and those are the ones that stuck out to me. So I probably need to go even a couple more videos in and see if there are any more questions. But if you have any more questions, comment below whatever video it is, or send me a message. And again, I have my website back up, cliff2fit.tv. And also, since I've talked about the My Victory Protein Boost, one of my favorite protein powders, it's doesn't have whey in it. I really like it. I like the way it tastes. I think it tastes really good. I'm going to, here pretty soon, so watch for it, make a video for a contest to win a container of the My Victory Protein Boost. So I'm using this as, this is the container. I'll make a video and have, a container of the protein boost, and anybody that comments below that video will get entered into a drawing. Just kind of like how I did my tank tops a while back. That's what I'm going to do with that. So watch for that video. That's going to be coming up pretty soon. And anyway, it's getting hot out here, so I wanted to do a different video and a different scene. So this is kind of out front. So anyway, it's getting hot. I need to go back inside. So talk to you guys later. Bye. Ooh, uh-oh. Shadow. Oh, there we go. Maybe this one's better. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye!